Okay, so I think we're live now. Yeah, so I just wanted to let everyone know because, as most of you know, August 31st, that's when I walked the 100,000 steps, which was 43.2 miles. It took me about 17 hours to do. And my goal was to do the 100,000 steps and to also raise $10,000 for Jezza Kinship in Uganda because they need a well. Right now they're having to walk 6 miles every day to get water this dirty and gross. And these kids are having to walk the 6 miles every day, and it's a dangerous walk. A lot of times they get approached by drug dealers who are also children, and they're also being put at risk for human trafficking, and it's just a bad situation. And so the whole point of this was to raise the $10,000. My goal was to have the funds raised by midnight, which would have been technically September 1st. That was my goal. So that was 2 weeks ago. And I did do the 100,000 steps on August 31st, like I planned to. But of course, for most of you, you know already, like I did not hit that goal of $10,000 on that night. I was really hoping we would, but I think we were only like 58% of the way there. I think it was like $5,800 something dollars left. And I just said, okay, well, I got to keep going. And I've never done a fundraiser, so I was probably pretty incompetent, but I just kept going. People kept sharing. You guys, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. You're changing the world here. I know that when you look around the world, it seems like, what can I do? But Mother Teresa said, if you can't feed all the hungry people, feed one, right? So it's like, if we can't dig all the wells that are needed, we can dig one, right? So there were times, I gotta admit, I was pretty despairing and discouraged, and I just didn't know what to do. But thank you guys, because you kept encouraging me, you kept sharing, you kept donating, and so just to let you know, we did raise all $10,000. We hit it last night. $10,028.76 is what we've raised. So yeah, I'm like, I won't be able to stop smiling. I've not stopped smiling, I don't think, since we raised the money last night. And we had a very generous donor. Like we were at like right around 9,000 yesterday. Like I think we started the day off just under 9. And a very generous donor yesterday afternoon just said, look, I'll match up to $300 that gets donated by midnight tonight. And it just like, then bam, like just all these donations rushed in. And then he donated, his 300, and then somebody donated the rest. I think it was like 80 something dollars. So I'm super, super grateful to everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I can't say it enough. I couldn't have done this on my own. I just couldn't have. There were 100, and I wrote it down somewhere, but I think it was like 140 something people who donated, and that's not to mention all those people out there who thank you. And SJD, can you tell me your name? Are you part of the groups? I've opened up a Facebook group, and so I'm trying to figure out people's screen names versus like their actual names. But anyway, you can message me later if you don't feel comfortable. Anyway, I'm so grateful and thankful, and I'm just so excited for these kids, and the widows and orphans to get this well. It will mean so much to them, and it's changing their lives in such a way. Okay, Sarah. Well, thank you, Sarah, for all of your support. It was a long process. Like this has been a learning experience for me, but certainly trying to keep the focus on who you're doing it, why you're doing it. It taught me a lot of lessons, and I know this is so not about me. This is about those kids getting the well. I read a statistic and I posted it on Instagram. It was like 222 million hours, I think, that women in sub-Saharan Africa have to use out of their lives, I think, every year. I wish I had that statistic right in front of me, but it's a lot of time that they're spending just walking to get water. So if we can change that, then, another thing is girls can get educated at school because they're not having to go get water now. They're able to go to school, and which then changes their world. More people can, instead of having to go get water, they can work on businesses and stuff. So and plus the water from a well is clean. The water that they're getting right now that they're having to walk 6 miles to get is dirty. So anyway, this whole project just makes me super happy. I'm super grateful. It taught me a lot about not being so darn independent, because I tend to be really independent, and I feel like a lot of times like, oh, I don't need anybody's help, but I needed everybody's help on this. I could not have done it on my own, so thank you. And we're it was 2 weeks past the self-imposed deadline, which I think is a lesson for, hi Nathalie. I'm just letting everybody know that we surpassed our $10,000 goal. We've raised $10,028.76 to dig a well in Jezza, Uganda, for the widows and orphans there. Kinship United is who's going to be doing that project. They have wired the initial funds at $8,000. We were able to start the process of digging. So the first thing that has to happen, hey Nana, thanks for joining us. The first thing that has to happen is they do a water survey, and then the second thing that has to happen is they're going to do a test drill for water. So if you're a praying type of person, please pray that those things go well. Hi Beverly. Pray that those two things go well, and then the actual digging, as long as the test goes well, then the digging will begin. So it's a long process, hey Henrietta. So I was letting everybody know, I don't know who's joined and when and everything, but we did surpass our $10,000 goal yesterday. We've raised $10,028.76. And so the next steps after the test drill, as long as it goes well, then the actual well will be dug. And so I don't know how long all that will take, because I'm sure, if any of you out there have ever dug a well, you know what kind of process it is. We had to do it one time on a piece of land that we had bought, and it was, it's a process, but it's expensive. And this project, I know it's $10,000. It's a lot of money, but it's going to change these people's lives, their whole village, right? And then it'll change, and that just, it will have a trickle down effect. And when I think about all the different things that could change, just the kids, they can get a better education now because they're going to be able to just have fresh, clean water there. They're not going to be sick all the time from the bad water. They can get educated. They can go to school. They can attend school. They have time for that because they're not having to go fetch water, 6 miles away. And for those of you out there who are walking 6 miles a day, you know what kind of time commitment it is out of your day. And so these kids can then, focus on school and focus on being kids. They're not going to be having to go out into these dangerous places where there are kids who are drug pushers. Other kids approach these kids on their way to get water to try to sell them some really hard drugs. So it's just changing the world in the way that we can. So oh, Henrietta, it's 10:30 in England. Oh, let's see. That's right. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out. Okay, so 10:30. That means that you're 7 hours ahead of me. I'll try to remember that. We were trying to also figure out some good times for lives, because there's a whole section of people who kind of have to miss out because of when we do it, but we'll keep figuring that out. But so anyway, one big lesson I took away from this was how much my ego can get into something, even if I felt like this is something I'm doing, it's like a good deed, ego can still enter in. So trying to remember that it's super easy to let your ego get the best of you, or to let yourself quit. There were times I was a mess. I was crying. My husband was so good doing all this, but I just felt like a failure. I really did. I felt like I'm failing these kids. I'm not doing the things I'm supposed to be doing, but I just said, I might be clueless, but I'm just going to keep at it. So I just kept going. Let's see, Nana, you said, he had to hand dig a 6-foot well. Yeah. And, it's very expensive. Yeah. So, yeah, please pray that everything goes smoothly, that it just goes real smoothly, and that Yeah, Mary. Yeah, I can't stop smiling. I've been smiling since yesterday. Um, I'm just super excited, and I'm so eternally grateful for all of you out there. The encouragement, the sharing, the donating. I mean, it just and every amount was necessary. Like it took all the different kinds of donations. We had $5 donations all the way up to like more like almost like a $892 donation, I think. I mean, it was just, it ran the gamut, but we needed every bit of it. Like, it wasn't like you could just say, well, we just need these big donors. No, we needed every single subsection, everybody who donated, because so many people, you know, even if you only could donate what you feel like was a small amount, which I still think is huge, because it was money you could have done anything with for yourself or anything, and you did it for these kids. So anyway, and you shared, and I just appreciate it. I just a whole lot, and I can never say thank you enough. So I guess that's about it. Oh, I can't remember if I said it, but I did do the 100,000 steps, which was 43.2 miles. It took me about 17 hours, and I was in a lot of pain by the end of it. So, but it was totally worth it for these kids to get the well. And so thank you guys, and I'll be doing a YouTube live on Wednesday. We've got a topic, but I can't remember. But if you go and look at the live events that are scheduled, you can see what we're going to talk about. I'm doing a little something different. Like, I still do the Q&A, but we also have a topic to kind of talk about, so that those people in there who kind of know about intermittent fasting but maybe want to talk about different topics, we can have that. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Also, I meant to say, I'm going to keep you guys updated on the progress. Also on my website, 6milestosupper.com/Jezza. That's where I will also post updates, so that, you know, you can always look over there and see. I wrote, you know, kind of the backstory, if you ever want to share this story with people, like, you know, what did I do and why did I do it and everything. That page, you can send them there, because that kind of gave an overview, and I broke down the numbers as far as like how many people donated, where like how much of the goal did we meet because of this kind of donation, how much because of this kind of donation. It was neat. I'm a numbers kind of person, so you remember my pain. Yeah, I was going back and looking at the thumbnails on YouTube, and you can tell, like, I started out all happy, and by the end of it I was pretty much in pain. But again, totally worth it. I'm so glad I did it. It was totally worth it. If you've ever considered doing a fundraiser, like you want to raise money, you want to change the world somehow, do it. Like, it was one of those things. If I had waited until I felt like I was ready, until I really felt like I knew what I was doing, I probably would never do it. So it got me way out of my comfort zone. I have a total respect now for fundraisers. Man, they've got a hard job, I tell you what. Anybody who's raising funds. But it's totally worth it. It's been a life-changing experience for me. So, okay, I think that wraps it up. But be sure to check out the page. I will keep you guys updated, because I want you guys to see where your money went, you know, and that's what I love about Kinship United. Again, they always put your money exactly where you want it to go. That's what they do. And you know, if you ever are looking for a way to impact the world, they are a great organization. Another great one, DonorsSee, DonorsSee. It's an app that Greg Glyer, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but anyway, he did a great TED talk about, you know, world poverty, the poverty in the world. But the point is, he has an app where you can see exactly where your money's going. Like, they have these smaller projects. They don't do like the bigger projects anymore, like wells. They don't do big, huge projects like that. They stick with things like, I think, under $450. But anyway, the point is, their whole thing is to show you, like, with video, like, okay, this is the situation, and then after you've donated, they provide you with video updates on what happened with the money. Like, you know, like babies that need formula. Okay, we gave this baby formula because you gave us this money, and then they show the progress and how it all goes. So anyway, so that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, as I want to show you exactly where your money's going, to show you that it is digging an actual well in Jezza, Uganda. So anyway, all right, well, I'm going to get off of here. Again, I love you, appreciate you a whole bunch, and I'll see you in the future next on Wednesday, if you want to join me for that. All right, good night, Henrietta, and thanks for joining us.